Hello, I'm Justin, Chief Exec of CAE Technology Services, and it's a pleasure to be able to welcome onto the purple couch Rob Tomlin, VP of Channels for Dell Technologies in the UK. Hi, Rob.
It's a pleasure to be here, Justin, and my first time on the purple couch, and it's very comfortable.
Oh, good. I'm very pleased to hear it. Could you give me an impression of what it was like coming here actually today?
Firstly, I love it because it's a building full of Dell Technologies products, basically a Dell Technologies showcase, of course.
It really is.
Lots of monitors, lots of our products, like our VX Rail downstairs and Power Store, which is fabulous. But secondly, it's a fresh vibe, isn't it? It's very much the CAE we all come to expect these days, and I have to say I'm hugely impressed, Justin, and congratulations to you and the team. A bold thing to do during what was obviously a very interesting time, wasn't it? So,
yeah. Fill me in a little bit with your history of what you've done within IT and how you've come across sort of CAE at that point as well.
So I've been in IT I started off in '99 at Technology PLC back in the day. It was then bought by Fujitsu and the like, and I was a young telesales person, just like some of the guys outside there today. Yeah. And I had many roles over the years. TPLC, then I worked as one of the board members of a distributor, ISI, who was a customer of mine. You guys were back in the day. Absolutely. Then, and then we were acquired by SDG, and then I was, and SDG then got acquired by Tech Data, where latterly before joining Dell, I was the managing director for their data center business in the UK, which was the old Aslan Avnet coming together. So I've basically had sales directorships and board memberships since the age of like 23, 24. And now I find myself as the VP of channels for Dell Technologies in the UK. I hope I'm bringing my best self to the role. Dell is a fabulous company to work for. I decided to go and work there because I felt that I could make a big difference to our channel partners and help our partners grow their businesses, help them understand the opportunities that Dell could bring. So yeah, it's been an interesting ride up to this, and knowing CAE along the way, it's been a joy to watch CAE's business come from what was a fledgling street fighting partner back in the day who'd come from nothing but built, but now you are one of the top 25 partners in the UK, and with a huge turnover, a great staff, and a great culture. So I'm delighted to be here today, Justin.
As you went into it, everyone kind of knew, brilliant, there's a champion for the channel there. Mm-hmm. And I know that's really important for Dell over Dell's history as well, in terms of kind of working with its partners. Mm-hmm. So what have you seen on that side in terms of actually how Dell have embraced those partnerships and been able to work together, kind of on customers, as I think has changed both our businesses over that period of time. So
I went into the role with some clear expectations, but actually I had a lot to learn about Dell, right? Which I've done, which I did. I'm doing. Every day's a learning day, right? Yeah. And I set some really bold expectations of what I thought the channel could bring to Dell, and they were the usual things, but capability, customer connections, an ability to accelerate the sales cycle for the Dell teams. And actually, being honest, the Dell teams at the start had been a bit skeptical. They'd heard it all before, but the channel's matured so much, and the partners are investing in so much in the data center. In fact, if you fast forward 3 or 4 years now, actually what we talked about is really coming to fruition. So the net result of our channel growth over the last 4 years now or so, we nearly doubled our UK channel business. We're seeing a surge in data center spend. We're seeing a surge in customers wanting predictability, and wanting to know what their bills are going to look like, and our partners are massively helping that. So it's been a positive period, and the partners have really embraced it. And some are always still skeptical, of course, but customers are, I think, again, a lot of what our partners offer.
Yeah, I think they are. They're really seeing the value of what both organisations can bring, because they need that adaptability at the moment. There's so much going on. You're absolutely right. We've lived through COVID. The economic times are still really testing. There seems to be kind of so much going on, but I know one of the things we really like is that there's a really clear idea of what Dell are bringing and how relevant that is. So, I know you have those really clear pillars in terms of here's how we can address the market and really help customers no matter where they are on their sort of digital transformation journey. So, can we touch on those a little bit? Those, those things which are those crucial drivers for you.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, what I'd also just extend on that, what you were saying as well, is I'll come on to the things that are driving it. One thing I think the customers really like is that Dell and our partners show up together.
Absolutely.
So the scale of our end user sales team that are talking to the customers every single day is in the thousands, right? I mean, and the channel community is also in the tens of thousands, right? And when you bring both together, the customers get a great result. So we think the things that are going to drive the market over the coming years, obviously with who knows what the financial markets are going to do, of course, but sort of kind of 4 core trends. So firstly, we see a big drive towards hybrid cloud. During the pandemic, a lot of customers switched their budgets to public cloud because they thought that was going to be the right thing to do. They couldn't get access to the data center, so they went and spun up AWS, Azure. And the reality is they learned very quickly a lot of apps can't even get there. The cost of going in and out of public cloud as well is just super high. But there are a lot of things that public cloud is good for, right? There's a lot of apps that you do want to run in the cloud. So it's very much a hybrid world. What our partners are seeing, what our sellers are seeing, what our customers are telling us is that they need predictability though. They need predictability of cost, they need predictability of technology. We're seeing customers now decide their long-term strategy. The challenge they all have, most customers have, is they have a lot of legacy infrastructure that may be sat in what is a subscale server room, data center, and they've got a decision to make in the next 12, 18, 24 months, right? Do they update their server room stroke data center? Do they move to colo? Or do they go public, right? And we're expecting the majority of people at kind of the mid-market level who probably can't afford to spend $2 million or £2 million on a data center to go colo. So hybrid cloud and the energy efficiency conversations with customers are super relevant for the next period to come. Cybersecurity and securing your data, right, it's just so important. The other 2 big trends we're seeing, so firstly is data insights. So the reality is everyone's got all this data and the data's growing. People don't do enough with the data. So it's still quite new for us, but we're working with more and more software companies, ISVs. I mean, we are the undisputed kind of data champions, right? I mean, so much of the world's data is stored in our infrastructure, but we want to work with people like Snowflake and Google and other people as well to help them unleash the data, use the data smarter. And that's something that a lot of teams really don't know where to start. And partners have got opportunity to support and advise there as well, I think. So,
if you said a few years ago that we'd have our own app development team, I think I would have been really cynical about it. The fact is, we now have our own app development team looking at, as you said, where you get insight from all this data, because just storing it all is all wonderful, securing it's important. But actually, as you said, what you can actually get for it and what the business decisions that's helping companies drive right now will be the difference moving forward. So love the fact that we've got that in our future to work.
The 4th trend I would talk about still though is we're still going to have people having lots of spend, lots of refresh capability opportunities on workspace.
Yep.
So, I mean, the IT channel started off selling laptops all those years ago. Laptops and mainframes, right? It's almost come back round to a degree as you think about what the cloud is and how it works. But the client business during the pandemic was phenomenal. I mean, the waterline, the amount of laptops and desktops and monitors that customers bought as they had to get just something to their staff during the pandemic was phenomenal. And we were quite fortunate at Dell that we had the best supply chain in the market to get product to them. But what's happening now, as you look forward, is the people that got laptops 3 years ago, a lot of those public sector workers who worked off a desktop for years, or even call center workers, they're now 2.5, 3 years into having their products, and they're going to be looking for their refresh, and they're looking for their refresh now. And let's be blunt, customers are constrained on their budgets. They're probably having to spend money on the other 3 topics I talked about, but it becomes an employee satisfaction tool as well. That if you don't give your member of staff a new product or a new device every 3 or 4 or 5 years, they're feeling a bit not that well looked after, and it becomes a retention challenge as well. And you look at the unemployment stats that came out yesterday, and I think the UK's got the lowest unemployment it's ever had.
We've touched on people a little bit.
Yeah.
We have our why is people need amazing technology, but technology needs amazing people. Because it does. It's still that it's still that combination that we think is really important. And again, that's been tested, and is very different over the 20 odd years we've known each other, and never more so than recently in terms of what's happening there. So, what changes have you started to see on that?
So I'll answer the question a couple of ways. So firstly, our why in Dell, right, it's very similar to your why, which is we create technology that drives human progress. That's Michael's vision. Very lucky to have our founder still is running the company and very much hands-on running our company. And he drives the culture, and he drives what we're trying to achieve on a daily basis. And if I just quickly say as well, like, I think 2 of the reasons why CAE and Dell partner well together. I mean, you're a titanium partner for Dell Technologies, which you should be very proud of. I mean, it takes a lot of investment and certification and time that you personally invest, Justin, and the team invest with Dell to get there. But one of the reasons we work so well together is we have the same ethics and the same ethos. We do things in the right way. We don't shortcut things. We're meticulous about delivering our promises together. And I know that's a CAE methodology, and it's very much a Dell methodology. We've got to do all the things we all talk about, right? We've got to attract the future talent into this marketplace, because unless we do, we won't be able to keep growing and supporting our customers' needs. There's definitely a diversity challenge, right? We work really hard on trying to find people from all backgrounds to come into Dell on a yearly basis, and we can do more. Right? And we will do more, be it graduates, university students, college leavers, all of the above. And we hire hundreds, but actually we need to help our partners hire as well. And that's something you'll see more of us do as we go forward. And then we need to make people feel comfortable in their workplaces. I know you do that as well, but we talk about hybrid IT marketplaces and hybrid IT for the customer. The office working environment is like, you've done something amazing here. I know you're doing the same thing in your other offices. We're similar, right? We have less properties now post-pandemic as we did before, but the properties we do have are hubs where people want to work from. And the reality is if you've got to encourage that networking, because people's mental health is also still quite fragile. And I know I've talked about 5 subjects in one answer here, right? But it's quite fragile post-pandemic. And actually, we use that pandemic word as such a thing we all reflect back on that. But everything's just changed. The way we work's changed. And we need to be mindful of that. So Dell and CAE doing the similar things. And it's how do we jointly work together in our own ways to make an impact on the world?
Look, it's been lovely having you on the purple couch. I hope we can do it. I hope we can do it again, because I'm sure we'll continue to talk about progress and and what that means for both our organisations and what it means for for us as individuals, our friendship and everything that is involved in that. So yeah, it's been lovely to have you here, Rob, and look forward to doing it again soon.
On behalf of all of Dell, congratulations on your 30 years. It's very well deserved, and looking forward to seeing the next 30 years.
Absolutely. We'll still be here. We'll aim for that.
Hopefully.
Great stuff. Thanks, Rob.
Pleasure.